Good evening and welcome to Rebels Radio post-match interview. Today I'm lucky enough to be joined by two buzzing Slough managers. How do you feel, boys?
Buzzing.
Yeah, delighted.
Yeah, great win for us tonight. It was it was our biggest game of the season. It was the most important one, and I thought the lads were fantastic tonight. I thought we had problems getting up there. We had players turning up about 7:15, and we started brilliant, and I thought we thoroughly deserved to win the game. I thought the lads every single one of them was fantastic.
So you talk about players turning up late for the game. I hear some of them were on the hard shoulder of the M25 when it joined the M1, wheels falling off cars. It sounded like a comedy of errors.
Yeah, we had, I think Jake and Ryan ended up on the hard shoulder, and fortunately Jamie McClurg and Johnny Dyer were not far behind them, so ended up having to help them get their wheel back on and move it just off the motorway, and then for them to come. So yeah, I mean, as John said, I think we had players turn up at 7:15. We had to do the team talk on the pitch, and sometimes it works in your favour because it's less time to think about the game, and you as managers you sometimes worry how they're going to start, but the boys were absolutely top draw today.
Starting 11 was always going to be the starting 11 that you picked?
We changed our mind a couple of times during the week. It's difficult. We've got a good squad of players. There's people that are on the bench that don't want to be on the bench, but we kind of looked at the Thursday, Saturday, but and you try and plan ahead. But to be honest, the most important game was tonight, and we watched Hayes against Barton on Tuesday, and we just got our heads around the way that the two teams play, and we just thought it was the right way to go tonight, and we'll have to see how we are for Saturday. It'd be very hard to change anything from the team tonight because everybody was fantastic, but we have to see how people's legs are and a few knocks, and we'll probably make a call on that on Saturday morning, to be honest.
And how were you pleased with the start of the game? Quite high tempo. Some of the recent games you've had different form, some conceding, some scoring early. This game seemed to start quite well, a few chances, testing Forster.
Yeah, we the first I think we had 3 shots in the first 4 minutes, and 2 of them probably hit the corner flags, to be fair. But we were excellent. We started really tempo was really high, and we looked a good side. We were obviously going up the slope, which is quite tough. So we're defending the slope, but we dealt with everything really well. I felt we completely dominated the first half, but I felt we were firmly in control, and we were breaking at pace, and we're getting 3, 4, 5 runners going forward, and some of the football going forward was absolutely superb. It was just the final third; it just didn't quite happen for us first half, and you come in and we praise them big time at half time, but we just said obviously we've got to put the ball in the back of the net, and fortunately we did that second half.
Great start to the second half again. Seemed to have the knack of it recently. Strong performances immediately after the half-time whistle and the team talk. So obviously you're doing something right, putting something in their tea.
Well, to be fair, we just had to keep that passion and desire we had the first half, and we started the second just like we did the first. I mean, Johnny had Sean put in a great cross, and Johnny missed a chance that by his standards. Johnny's brilliant in the air, and he missed that header, and then Eddie had a chance that he missed. And we started to wonder, it wasn't going to be our day. And in fact, the goal that we got to take the lead was a miss hit, really, a scuff from Johnny. But I think at that point, I think we deserved to take the lead. I think we were the ones creating good chances, I thought we thoroughly deserved to go in front. And but then they scored a wonder goal not long after. Must have been about 10 minutes after, I guess, when they got a wonder goal from Luke Knight. Great strike, and that made it a very difficult 10 or 15 minutes. We had a couple of kind of incidents. James incident. The game got very scrappy, very heated, became a real battle, and I think both teams lost a little bit of control at that point. And luckily, it wasn't too long before we went in front. Eddie scored a fantastic goal, and I think that just settled us down again. And it was a really crucial time to score, and we went on from there.
Were you worried again in a similar situation to the Daventry game away, that you started to defend a little bit deeper, started to absorb a little bit more pressure after the frantic 5 minutes when, as you say, Dobson was involved in a couple of incidents. One of their managers got sent off, and then after that, it seemed to be that Barton seemed, as naturally would happen, to start to put pressure on you. Did you worry that you were going backwards a bit too much?
Well, it's not about defending deep or anything like that. You know, whenever you're playing a side who are a good side, you know, they're a strong side. They're going to push you back. You know, you're not going to dominate games for 90 minutes. And you know, as much pressure as we had on them first half, for the last sort of 15, 20 minutes, they had a lot of pressure on us. And it's not about defending deep. I think we heard somebody say, "Oh, you know, we need to get up." It's not about that. You know, sometimes you're just defending your line, and if you get the opportunity, then you squeeze up. And games become a little bit you know, fraught, and you know, they start sticking the ball in the box, and you know, you may not get enough purchase on your clearances or whatever. That's just football. You know, people get their spells in games, and listen, they're at home. They've been on absolute fire recently, and most of the season. You know, they've had a brilliant season, and so you'd expect some pressure, and it's how you deal with it, how you defend against it. And I thought we stood up to it. I mean, they had a great chance. BJ Christie come on, and it was a great ball into the box, and I thought he nudged Sean a little bit, and but however, you know, he's 6 yards out, and he's missed the target, you know, which was a real let off for us. But you know, it's not about defending deep or anything like that. It's just about how the game goes, and we fortunately defended in the right way.
And I'm sure you were equal to most of the Rebels fans and supporters all over the place who were getting anxious for the referee to blow his whistle. He found 9 minutes of added time. I think half of that was for his long conversations that he had with his linesman during that half. There was one key incident during that when the ball was thrown out by Jake Sunville, who collided with an attacker for Barton. And I think common courtesy would normally be that they'd return the ball to you. Obviously, that didn't happen, and I saw things got a little bit fractious on the touchline.
Yeah, we didn't think it was the right thing to do. No matter what stage of the game you're at, how important the game is, our opinion is that's something you don't do. If someone puts the ball out, you throw it back. Having said that, you know, we talked about it. I know one of our own players, who I won't mention, said, "Well, I would have played on." So sometimes the stakes are high, and teams do what they have to do. And it's done. It's forgotten. Thankfully, they didn't score off it. Maybe we'd be having a different conversation if they'd scored off it. But you know, they do what they do, you do what you do, and we move on.
Yeah, I think also, you know, they were obviously upset that our second goal come from a throw, which, you know, listen, I believe it was their throw. So, you know, obviously the video will clarify that, but you know, they were obviously disappointed that we've ended up scoring from a mistake from the referee. You know, my sort of answer to that is, you know, how many times are mistakes made in games by referees? You know, it's just common that it happens, and fortunately we were the benefactors of a decision tonight.
And so after the final whistle, handshakes all round, and conversations with the manager were all amicable.
Yeah, you've got to be. Listen, everyone's just desperate to win. They're where they are in the league because they're winners. We're where we are in the league because we're winners. And these are big games, high stakes. And listen, we all get a bit overexcited. I did. I probably said things on the sidelines I shouldn't have done tonight. So that's because we're all desperate to do well. So and it's all forgotten. You know, we move on. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. You get words are said on the pitch, words are said on the sidelines, and it's only because you want to win so much. So you know, we're not even thinking about that now. It's done. We're just delighted to get the win.
Listen, they're good guys. You know, and John's right. They've had a really good season, and they want to win games of football. And you know, we're all passionate people. You know, at the end of the day, we've got one common love, and that's football. And you know, things are said and whatever else, but you know, they're quickly forgotten.
And so now on to AFC Hayes, a game in 48 hours' time. How do we look to approach it? How do the guys recuperate? Who gets treatment from Kev? And what is the ambition for AFC Hayes in 2 days' time?
Well, we need to win the game. You know, we've had a massive win tonight. It doesn't mean the job's done. We've still got lots of work to do, and it'll be tough. It's tough playing Thursday night and Saturday. We've just said to the lads, you need to do what you can. It's difficult. They're getting home now. It's 11:30 at night. They're getting home. A lot of them are getting up early and going to work. They haven't got time to properly prepare their bodies. But we said you've got to do what you can. You've got to try and eat the right things. if you can get out for a little jog and a stretch tomorrow night, or a swim, you know, whatever you think you need. Some will recover better than others. You know, 1 or 2 have got knocks, and we just hope everybody's fit and ready to go again. And yeah, we've got options if we want to change it, and that's the hardest thing as a manager. You've had a brilliant performance. Do you change it, or do you stick with what you go with? And if we don't win the game, whatever we've done, we'll wish we did the other. You've just got to, you know, we know our players better than anyone, and we've just got to make those decisions, and we won't rush into it. We'll see how everyone is, and I'm sure me and Bakes will get together and have a chat Saturday morning and put out what we think's the right team to win the game.
I think we also know, you know, that the game is going to be a tough game. We went and watched obviously Hayes and Barton on Tuesday night, and we were actually really impressed with Hayes. They played some really good football. I think that it was just probably a lack of cutting edge on the night up front that, you know, they probably didn't get a result. And you know, they played some great stuff. You know, we were really impressed with them, and it's one of those. They come to us early on in the season and beat us 2-1, and they beat us fair and square on the day. And you know, so we know that we've got to approach a game in the right manner. And you know, and as Sean said, it's going to be tough for the lads to recover in time for Saturday, because it's probably 36 hours, and you know, they've just put in a massive shift tonight. So it's going to be a tough game Saturday.
Talking of knocks, is there anything that really concerns you? Obviously, Somerville went down towards the end injured. A couple of players seem to be limping during the game. Is there anyone you're specifically concerned about for Saturday?
I think Jake's obviously taken a knock, and I think he's going to be sore. He's going to have to play through it. You know, it's not. I don't think it's just a kick. You know, he's going to have to. I think he's going to have to grin and bear it and play. You know, yeah, 1 or 2. I mean, one of the concerns, Warren Harris has been carrying an injury, and we don't know yet how his knee will react to the hard work he's put in tonight. So we're hoping he recovers and can play. Yeah, I don't know of anything that's worrying us at the moment. We'll touch base with them all tomorrow and see how they are. But I don't think we'll have too many problems.
No, we should be able to bring in Dan Sintom, who was not fit for tonight. So he should hopefully, you know, come back into the squad as well. So it gives us a few more options. But yeah, it's not a lot of time between the next game.
No. And finally, up to the average of 2 points per game. It's taken a long time to get there. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's taken all season to get them. I think 2 points is recognised as what you need to get in the playoffs. I know Beaconsfield got in on 84 last year, and that's been in our mind as a target, and we haven't been able to quite get there. And every time we think we're going to get there, we have a bit of a wobble. But we're on a fantastic run. We've won 11 out of 13, and you know that the lads deserve massive credit for that. And but all it's done is just kept us in the hunt. You know, we're not done. I still think there's 6 teams going for 5 positions. Kettering have had 2 big wins this week, so they're back on form. Barton will be looking to bounce back Saturday, and it just keeps everyone in together. What I will say, we are the form team out of the top 6. We're the form team at the moment, and you know, but that can change. That can change Saturday, but we've just got to keep going. The lads' confidence levels are high. Their belief in each other is high, and we've got every belief that we can do it. But you know, things can change football so quickly.
Football changes very quickly. You know, as poor as we were in December, where we lost a number of games, we then go on a run where we win 11 from 13. So you know, football. You know, it's the old Greavesy saying, "Football's a funny old game," and it's totally true.
Brilliant. Well, thank you ever so much, boys, for your thoughts immediately after the game. I'm sure you want to get home, get on the websites, get on Twitter, and see what all the chat and banter's about. Good luck on Saturday, and I'm sure I'll speak to you both soon.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.